Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Selby Farm Estates, where today we're collecting up some grass for the cows. Now we do need to get some extra silage in, which I'll probably end up using the buy bales mod for that, just for ease. Or I can make some grass silage. You guys can pretty much decide. I'll be doing that in the stream on Friday, whatever you guys decide. And right now, definitely what I need to do is get grass into the cows. They're not quite producing 100%. And the higher the percentage, the better our milk production will be. And we're heading into that time of year where we're going to have to be very, very concerned about the amount of food we're giving the cows. Because it's coming into winter, we will definitely need to buy bales. 100% absolutely need to buy bales during the winter, because they are going to go through quite a lot of stuff very quickly. And that's going to be fun to see where the manure spawns, because I have no idea just yet. But they're going to produce a lot of manure, a lot of slurry, which actually is a good thing. We've got a nice manure spreader in the form of the Black Sheep manure spreader that I can't remember the name of at the moment, but it is definitely by Black Sheep Modding. And we don't have a slurry tanker, which sounds like a problem, but it's really not, because we can buy one fairly easily. I'm going to really quickly turn off creative money and reset the walking speed to 1, because I did have it turned up. You can see we've got £28,000. Also, come spring, we will be selling off absolutely everything on the farm. There is way too much equipment on the farm, so I'm going to do a complete clear out and start kind of fresh. New equipment in. Have I left the Big M running? I've left the Big M running. That's not the end of the world. So we're using this huge, stonking great... we might actually be able to get some silage done today as well. We're using the really big Stroutman Terra Vitesse forage wagon, just because it's probably going to be the quickest option to get all the grass picked up. Let's turn it off just to get a bit of extra speed. Yeah, I'm using mouse and keyboard today, so it is going to be a bit derpier than... Nah, it's not going to be any derpier than usual. It's going to be as derpy as I always am, because it's me. I'm going to do my best to not flip a tractor, but this is a fast track. You can go at a good speed. I do want to say that in yesterday's video on Selby, yesterday morning's video, I used the John Deere 7R by... I've forgotten the name of the modders already. I am a genius. The John Deere 7R. I flipped that before I started recording. I completely rolled it over when I was getting into the field, and we are full. Magnifico. Let's get this out of the field, and we... Oh, this is 50,000 litres of grass. Will the cows take 50,000 litres of grass? I don't think so. I think we may have bonus. We might have some spare grass on our hands, which, if that's the case, then I'll be a very happy man. Let's see how we do here. Because I sincerely doubt they're going to take all 50,000 litres. 10,000. Just under 15,000 litres of grass. And that will apparently do them for 6 days, but somehow I doubt that. I think seasons may intervene and cause them to go through it a bit quicker than the game thinks. Now we do actually need that feed mixer, by the way. That is our straw delivery system for the cows. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the worst 17-point turn in history. I've just made a mess of all I've done there. Let's try and get this thing turned around into the bale shed, because there's a great demand for wood chips, so we don't have anything to produce wood chips right now. But fear not, I will be doing some forestry on this map. That's one of the reasons I want to clean the yard up and clean away a lot of the equipment. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to put the rest of this field into the silage bin. It's a bit of unexpected silage. So let's get this right on into the pit here. And Lancy has told me he's using ground tip coils for this as well as the normal tip coils, so in theory it should work nicely. In practice it may be a bit derpier than usual. Let's see, can I back it right up to the wall? No. It doesn't like that. Downside of using the ground tip coils is sometimes trailers can be a bit fussy about where they unload. Let's bring this right to the front here. I use the trailer as a ramp, or the pile as a ramp, to get a nice big high pile placed back there. Lovely. That is the trailer empty. And oh, this is going to be fun to get out of the field and into that pit. Let's start off going this way because I'm already mostly lined up on this swath. If we get this done, we'll swap into a different tractor. It'll probably be the Challenger. It'll probably have to be reset actually. And what I will do is I will head out with a cultivator. And if you saw the start of yesterday's video, you'll know why. Or you might know why. But you might not at the same time, so I'm going to explain regardless. What happened at the start of yesterday's video was I started to try and seed a field. What you guys couldn't hear was the conversation I was having at the time on TeamSpeak. I was really tired, by the way. That's why it turned into that's why it was a time lapse. Yeah, it took a bit longer to record, but I didn't have to talk, and you wouldn't hear me yawning the entire way through the video. I said, "Oh crap! This seeder isn't actually a no-till." I was convinced it was a no-till seeder. Because the 6 meter seeder, the Vaderstad is no-till. I presumed that the 9 meter horse seeder was no-till. No, I was wrong. So I had to give up on that idea very quickly and move into a different field, because that the field I was trying to seed was planted in potatoes. So as it turns out, I'll have to go around and cultivate a lot of the fields on the map. I still need to get the Pantera into that field, field 12. Because I gave up on using the fertilizing function when I realized the seeder could plant more seeds than it could put down fertilizer, which was dumb, but that's a thing. Apparently, it's got a bigger seed tank than it does a fertilizer tank. You'd think they'd be sized so that a bunch of seeds would be a bunch of fertilizer, but no, there's less fertilizer capacity than seeds. Which it really sucks that you can't actually tell the game, hey, I only want to use this much fertilizer on this, please. Yeah, can I lower the amount of fertilizer, please? Because otherwise I won't be able to seed. Likewise with the, what is it, the Great Plains. That you could put down a lot more fertilizer and get stage 3 immediately. Instead of just putting down, we'll say, the one stage and having to wait a day or so and put down another stage and then wait a day or so and then put down the last stage. It would be a lot easier with the likes of the Great Plains to just say, hey, I want immediate stage 3, because I don't really care. I want all of the fertilizer just dumped in this field. Because it probably would take as much fertilizer to get to stage 3 from wherever you are as it would to do, unless you're already on stage 2 and you're seeding, in which case you've really preloaded the ground. In which case you don't really need to put the fertilizer in the seeds that you're actually supposed to spray some fertilizer on afterwards. Or herbicides or whatever. So we're 10 minutes into the video, about maybe halfway through. Assuming I want to do a short video today, which I kind of do. You've already had a full video from Pemberlin today. I wouldn't mind this one being a bit shorter. I wouldn't mind too much, but we do need to seemingly get the Challenger on a cultivator, which the cultivator is down at the main yard, and the Challenger is out in the field somewhere, which I can't remember which field the Challenger's in, but I do remember which field actually needs cultivating. We're on day 4 of autumn, which is mid-autumn now. I do have, I believe, 9-day seasons. It could be 6-day. Either way, day 4 of autumn is mid-autumn. It's definitely not 3-day seasons, because otherwise I would be in winter right now. And I was going to message on Snapchat from somebody who I don't particularly care about messaging right now, so I can ignore it safely. I want to thank you guys for the support on the Thornton video. I'm speaking at like what, 6:13 p.m. and if I open up my YouTube Studio app, I can see that after just over 2 hours, the video has 191 views according to YouTube, which if I open up the real time, which is usually a bit more accurate, a few more. 270 views. Wow. That is astounding. Can I see this movie for that? No. There's actually no statistics whatsoever. Also, apparently I mistakenly said soil mod instead of seasons mod. Soil mod, of course, is not even... I don't think Decker's even working on soil mod at the moment. That was me misspeaking, as usual. Why is it not a great surprise that I mistakenly said soil mod at some point? I will say that I don't plan on using soil mod at all in FS17, because the FS15 version went a bit overkill on the fertilizer needed. It became Fertilization Simulator 2015, and as great as soil mod was, it wasn't very good for YouTube. It was basically, hello, welcome back to whatever farm I'm on, where I'm using soil mod, so naturally I've got to fertilize the exact same field we fertilized last time because soil mod. And it just doesn't make for good videos. It's either a case of I spend literally in one case 12 hours fertilizing fields, and I have done that. 12 hours in between videos, or I just don't use soil mod. And the easier solution is to not use soil mod because I don't want to get burnt out of the game. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just compact down the silage I just put in, or the grass, so that I get some nice silage eventually. This is gonna take 1/3 of a season, which is probably about 2 to 3 days to ferment. So I do need to plan when I need silage, and definitely I need to get this clamped up at the very latest in late autumn to have silage for the winter to feed to the cows. So that's kind of the plan. Now obviously using the feed mixture, that's going to give me some hay and silage straight off, but I do need to also have some silage ready to go. The issue here being that is that the ground collisions have an awful habit of being very aggressive, and they come out a lot farther than they're really supposed to. So I may have a word with Lancy later on about how the ground collisions work with silage, because this is an angle, they're not going to be very happy. They never are. Which is a real shame. It kind of it detracts, and I think Giants need to work on the whole tip call thing. I think it should be that everything that is solid in Giants Editor, it has a tip call, because otherwise it just looks a bit stupid. It honestly does look. It makes Giants look stupid. It makes map makers look stupid. It makes players look stupid when there's grain coming through a shed or silage coming through a silage pit. The tip calls should work based on the collisions of an object, not based on something else. I'm sure there is a way to get it to work based on collisions, and I'm gonna investigate the specific properties of tip calls to see if I can't get it to just work on anything with a collision, because that'd be really cool. And it'd be very helpful for map makers to know this nonsense, because tip calls break far too easily, and they're fiddly and annoying. So if you get something that has collisions, if you get it just rigged up to the model, that would be probably the best solution. In all honesty, because there's less that can go wrong. A lot less. But I have a sneaking suspicion Giants didn't think ahead. And think of map makers and think of players and just went ahead and made it a separate thing for reasons of because. So what I'm going to do now is, by the way, the cows are pretty much running at full productivity at the moment. They need a bit of cleaning, but that's not a big deal. They need some TMR, which is made but not ready. I'm not willing to put it in with them. Let's reset that to there and grab the MT700. Two videos today, and we're using the MT700. Fantastic. Although this time we are actually going to be using it on a cultivator, because I need to cultivate up the fields that have non-plowed textures. That's a plowed texture, because that field has been plowed. Well done, Dave. You can recognize the textures. It's field 11 needs to be cultivated for sure. So let's grab our nice big cultivator here. Could possibly go bigger with this, but I'm not going to right now. Let's grab that. This shouldn't, in theory, even need a PTO. It should just run immediately. So field 11, you can see, has a potato texture. Actually, we can do field 14, because I'm here already. Why not? Sudden change of mind. Brought to you by RainbowDave Game. Let's unfold that, and while that's unfolding, let's close the gate. Let's get back into the tractor, lower the cultivator, and off we go. I do have forced plow turned off. I do have one layer fertilization turned on, so I don't need to actually worry about this field anymore. We just need to cultivate it and seed it up, and then it'll grow nicely. Except for the fact that most of this field isn't actually fertilized. So let's change my mind again and get into the Big M to turn it off, and the Amazon PANTERA to turn it on, because I thought the rest of this field is fertilized. It is not. So without further ado, fertilizer. Magnificent. What I'm gonna do... Oh, I did actually miss a bit going up the field there. Oh, was I using GPS? Did I get incredibly lazy and use GPS? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press Shift H, Alt L, Alt L, and we're gonna take a nice screenshot here of this doing its job. Just like that. And a little bit of lag there was actually the screenshot being taken, because I don't use the F12 button anymore in FarmSim. I use print screen, which will send it to the FarmSim folder, and I think the colors are a bit better if I do that. Certainly makes it a lot easier to Photoshop. Because me being me, I do Photoshop all of the pictures that go up on the channel. All the thumbnails are, of course, Photoshopped. And I guess to finish off today, we'll be finishing this field off, which may or may not be an achievable job. Let's see, 77% of fertilizer left. We should be good with fertilizer, but this is a 24-meter boom if memory serves. So it is a very small boom on the sprayer. And it's a very big field. So maybe I should have gone 32, maybe 36 meters with the boom. 40 definitely would be overkill. I think this is probably about the right size for what I want to do. So I'm just going to take a quick drink of water, because my throat is getting dry, and my mouth is getting dry, and it's not a fun feeling. And that was indeed a very quick drink of water. And because I drink sparkling water all the time, it's all fizzy now. Lovely. I really don't know what else to talk about today, I'm afraid. This is, by the way, a new version of Selby that was sent to me yesterday. with Sunday Night by Lancy. I was extremely tired, so I didn't really thank him well enough. Thank you very much, Lancy. I was very tired when you sent it. I didn't sleep Saturday night, so I was maybe a bit off from what I usually am. Apparently there's new sheds, which always concerns me, because I keep... Every time I hear there's new sheds, I think of what happens when Oxygen David decides to put new sheds into his maps, and Landy's testing them. For those of you who don't know, Oxygen David actively trolls Landy. Because, especially with, I think it was Chellington, he just kept moving the sheds so that Landy's bales were constantly outside of a shed. Or halfway in a shed, or embedded in a shed, and stuff like that. And I'm always concerned when Lancy tells me, "Oh yeah, I've put a couple of new sheds in." That's always kind of like, "Oh dear, what's he gone and screwed me over on?" And it's not me thinking it maliciously that Lancy's going to go out of his way to put sheds where I don't need sheds. It's as Lancy decided to play a bit of a practical joke on me and put a shed in, put a shed through one of my tractors. By the looks of it, he hasn't, but there's always the concern. It does look like the sheds at the main farm there are a bit different. I'm not entirely sure which sheds he's changed, but the sheds are a bit different. I want to check real quick. Has he fixed the issue with the chickens? He has! He has fixed the issue with the chickens. There was a minor issue where the chicken logo was appearing in a completely random place that wasn't actually where the chickens were. I was so confused as to why there were no chickens where it said there were chickens. Turns out they were in a different place entirely in the logo. The sign was just in the wrong place on the PDA map. So that got fixed. Same with everything I say that, there's a minor problem there. It gets fixed. The sign of a good map maker is that they, number one, will fix the issues, and number two, will actually give you the updated versions of the map. I've heard of a few map makers that don't necessarily give updates. None of which I've been involved with, which is kind of interesting. I have heard of maps where, let's say, major problems got found by the testers, and there was never an update given, which that's not a good thing. If you're a good map maker, you will, at worst, list all the problems out and work on updates over time, and then once you got, let's say, 10 things fixed, or 3 major problems fixed, you'll give your testers a new update and say, okay, I fixed these things what you found, and fix these things what I found. Go try and break the map again, and tell me what you break. Because that's how maps get fixed. It's how great maps happen, like Oxygen David's maps. He and Landy work kind of as a team. Like, Landy doesn't know anything about map making, and this is despite me trying to teach him. But he knows that map making takes time, and there's a lot of pitfalls. And he'll talk to Oxygen David and say, okay, you're falling down this pit. I don't know how you fix it, but this is how you break it. See if you can fix it. And usually I'll be able to tell straight away if it's a big problem or a minor problem, especially seeing as I am, obviously working on my own map. It's a really easy thing to find out. What's a big, major problem with a map and what's a minor problem. Both playing and making one myself, there's a nice synergy when I'm testing, because I can say to Lancy, okay, this is broken, but here's how to fix it. It's not a case of I have no idea what's causing this. For example, the mystery shadow in what field was it? 29. Lancy and I both looked in GD to see if we could see what was the cause of the mystery shadow. There was nothing. Nothing floating, nothing that was invisible up there. Both selected everything in the map, nothing was there. So, okay. What mods do I have that fiddle with how the lighting in the game works? Or how shadows might work? Well, hang on. Seasons plays with the lighting settings, does it not? So sometimes you'll find an issue with what you think is a map. You look at the map. It's particularly helpful if you know what you're doing in Giants Editor to do this. You look at the map in Giants Editor, see that nothing's really out of place, nothing's there that's causing this issue. You'll think, okay, well, there's nothing obvious on the map that's causing it. What could be causing it that I'm using? What could be at fault from my end? As it turned out, the Mystery Shadow is being caused by seasons. It's a weird artifact that I think it's just a shadow of a random tree is being stretched to a really weird shape. But it's nothing overly major, and I have seen some slightly more major issues with seasons being spoken about. But that is the fertilizing done. I'm going to leave the video here because we're at 26 odd minutes. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I just realised that these fold up at an angle. That's really nice. I will leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Simulator 17 on Selby Farm Estates. Until next time, stay safe, and goodbye.